Welcome to the showcase, baby. Oh, the showcase. Righteous mind. It's your time to shine. The showcase. Righteous mind. It's your time to shine. The showcase.
On our show today, world-renowned artist Tasleem Jamilah, all the way out from Chicago. My good sister, she's a poet, singer, writer, author, a sister of many chemos, as we say. So I want you to give her a warm round of applause. Greetings, Sister Jamilah. How you doing?
Walaikum salam. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No problem. How are you?
I am. Alhamdulillah. I'm great. I'm great.
Well, I've known you for many years, but for our viewers, please let us know, who is Tasleem?
Who am I? Wow. I'm still discovering that. But as of right now, as you said, I'm a poet. I'm an author. I have my own publishing company called My Soul Speaks. I'm also a recording artist, recorded a CD and working on my second one right now. This one will be more poetry, soulful, more vocals, more live instruments. I'm also an activist and educator. I work a lot with the youth, and especially women and young girls, and just youth period, boys and girls, but just really surrounding their self-esteem, teaching them the dynamics of being a performer, activism. Also, I'm a designer. I'm a stylist and a fashion designer. And I just like to write. So my goal is to work on some more plays. I've written several productions and plays that were actually put on by the youth that I work with. And now I'm working on some other writings. I'm into holistic health, and I'm a wife, and I'm a mother, and yeah, so I do a lot of everything.
Okay. Well, let us know what inspired you, what got you started in doing these great things, these great works that you're doing.
But how I got started, I think at a young age, I always knew I wanted to have something to do with, I always knew I wanted to own my own business or be the boss. I remember being around 8 or 9 years old, I don't know where this came from. I said, I want to wear some suits, and whatever I do, I want to run my own company. But I also wanted to be an actress. So I was the child that was in the room by herself, talking to herself, well, which seemed like I was talking to myself. That's what my mother thought I was doing. But I would be acting out the scenes that I saw on TV. So if it was like the Cosby Show, you know, I was like Lisa or something, and I was acting out the scenes and pretending like I was on TV, because I always wanted to do something creative, but I always knew I wanted to not to work for somebody else's dream, but to pursue my own. So about 9 or 10, I start writing short stories, just kind of writing creative poetry, and then in my teen years, I really got into designing my clothing. My mother is the artist in the family, and along with a couple of my other sisters, but as far as parents, my mom. And me and my sister would design our clothes, and she would make them. So I always wanted to be different, going to, the homecomings or the school parties or events. And so I was always very stylish, and I like to style my own clothes. And so after, I guess, my late teens, I started sewing myself. So she was always doing the sewing, and I said, I want to do this myself. So I started kind of doing it myself, and then I went to Columbia College for design, even though I already knew how to do some stuff just for a few, but I really focused on theater. So acting, being on stage, bringing out that performance element. I love being on stage, and my dream was always to be on stage or on the big screen acting. So, and I don't know, you have a plan, but a lot of plans are planned. So the spoken word and the performance poetry, how that came about, that's something I never thought about doing. Like, my thing was I want to be an actress and a fashion designer. I even, when I was 19, even came to New York to do some designs with a couple of record labels there. And so that was always my thing. So over the years, I always kept making clothes for myself, especially being on stage, and just wanted to be unique and express myself in a unique way. And I had personal clients even after a couple of fashion lines that I had. And so getting into performing poetry, it was kind of like I used to help promote events, and I was helping to promote an event here in Chicago. Always been an activist, positive poetry. I had a lot of friends that were poets, but I really never paid attention to anything that they were saying, even when I went to the poetry spots. It just wasn't something I thought I would actually be doing. It was kind of one of those things. It might be one poet to catch my attention, and I would kind of look, and then the rest of the time I would be daydreaming out the window. I've kind of been a daydreamer all my life, one of those people pondering on the world, like, I wonder how the clouds were created. Yeah, that was me, that kind of child. So I decided at one of my events, I said, I really want to get on stage. I feel like I have something to say that other people aren't saying it the way I want to say it. And so I got on stage, and people loved it, and I loved it. And then people start paying me for it. They asked me to do it. And being a natural performer and having a theater background and just being a natural, theatrical, dramatic type, animated person, I just love being on stage, but doing it with a purpose. So that's the main reason I started performing my poetry, because I felt like even now it has a bigger purpose than me. It's something I know that God works through me and speaks through me. So that's why I do it. And so now, I love it. It's my life. I do workshops and also do lectures now along with it. So kind of performance / lecture series kind of moved up. I'm mature now. I'm officially grown. So just had a lot of experience as a traveling artist around the world, and being an activist and artist, and producing big productions, shows. I produced a lot of productions here through Chicago Public School System, through other organizations that I work with in Chicago, and also help to coordinate and be the head coordinator for a lot of events, big events and festivals here in Chicago, like Inner City Muslim Action Network, the Big Taking to the Streets, and a lot of other festivals. So now it's, people now are coming to me for advice on how to do that. So I kind of consult on that, and I do speaking engagements, and I love it. So.
All right. Well, how can someone reach you if they wanted to contact you or have you for a speaking engagement?
Okay, great. You can reach me at booktasleemjamilah@gmail.com, or my website, which is tasleemjamilah.com, and I'll spell it for you. It's TASLEEMJAMILA.com. So, and I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, all under Tasleem Jamilah. And I have a YouTube page. If you just type in Tasleem Jamilah, I also have a weekly podcast that I do, and that's mainly on health, holistic health, like the mind, the body, and the soul. So it's talking about mental preparation, like how to stay motivated, how to stay inspired, how to eat to live, how to transition to a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle. So those are the kind of topics that I cover mainly on my YouTube page, just to keep you hyped up every day, to keep exercising and meditating and prayerful, and how to really make it work in your life. I kind of give people what they want. I have a combination pack. Sometimes when people book me for gigs or shows, I'm known for hosting. Like, I host a radio show here too, and it's out of Chicago. For like 11 years I've been doing that. A radio show comes on Sunday. So people know me just from my voice as hosting. So I host a lot of events live on stage. So sometimes they may just want me to host. Or sometimes I may host and, do poetry performing in between. And then other times, like you said, along with the productions, with the speaking engagements, I'll speak and I'll do performance in between the speaking, so it'll make sense. It flows. So it's with the speaking, and it'll be relevant to the topic that I'm talking about. I'll do poetry or show some videos of some different lectures, even with the PowerPoint, or just some travel videos that I have. When I even went to Ghana, I did like a mini documentary that I showed for my book release. I have a book out, so I want to talk about that also. So buy my poetry book. You can go to my website and get my poetry book and my CD. But my book is the latest that's out of over 75 poems. So I'll kind of combine it and make it really unique, because before I used to think, wow, I have all these talents. How could I kind of make them come together? And so now I'm making them come together. So I use my creativity, even with my designs afterwards. Sometimes I might be selling some earrings or some skirts, along on the table along with my books, my CDs, and my T-shirts. And so I'll do the PowerPoint, the speaking, with like some footage of my travels or my experience, along with the talk and the poetry and the question and answer. So it's kind of organic now, and I really love it because it all came together, and I'm just so grateful to Allah that it all came together.
Well, with that being said, being that you have a family, husband, 2 daughters, how does traveling, doing speaking engagements, book signings, things like that, how does that affect your family life? I know trying to be away from your family is a big deal, so let us know for those who are trying to do it, how do you incorporate your business life and your family life?
Well, you met me when I was single, because I was married before and I had a child, and then you met me when I was single with a daughter. So when I was married before and I had one daughter, I was mainly into my fashion design. So I wasn't doing performance poetry. I wasn't traveling, doing any of that. So I had a totally different life. I was into, business, marketing, and also I had fashion clients, so I was in the house. But then becoming a single mom, and my daughter was still little, that's when I got into poetry and started performing and traveling. And when I was single, it made it, alhamdulillah, Allah is beautiful, because it made it easy for me, only because I had family. So living in Chicago with my mom and dad who are retired, I have 2 sisters. I'm the kind of person, I don't leave my child with anybody. She only goes with my biological sisters, 2 sisters, and my mom and my dad. And so it made it really easy for me to travel. A lot of times I would just go on the weekends, or if I even had something during the week, I would only be gone like for a day or 2. But I always had my family there, so I was never like, oh, I feel like a bad mother. No, because I won't be gone for long periods of time. And I know my mom's going to, pick her from school, or my sister will take her to school. She's taken care of. She's happy. She's around, my nieces. And really that family support, people you trust with your child. So, and then getting married, I moved to another city. So I've learned to embrace every cycle of my life, because I had that issue at first where I'm thinking like, okay, I'm married now, and I got a husband, it's going to be easier, I could just be gone. But it's like, no, my life is different now. I have a husband, and I'm traveling. So I had to take that into account. So now that I live in a different city, now I have 2 children. And at this point in my life, I don't have a lot of family around me. I met friends, but like I say, I don't leave my children with anybody. So what I do, I make it work. A lot of times when I travel on the weekends, I take them with me. I'll take them with me. Or if I have to go somewhere, just say, because I live right outside of Chicago, so just say I have to go to New York or London. I'll leave them. We'll drive or take the train or whatever to Chicago. I'll leave them in Chicago with family, people I trust, so I don't have to be stressed out, worried about them. And then I'll go and I'll come back. But But I work my time around now, like just like now. I could be on the road right now, just like every day or every day of the week. But my family is first. And so you can never get those years back. You know, so all you women who are out there thinking, oh, I got to go, I got to do what I used to do. No, your life will never be the same. And that's the beautiful thing. It's not supposed to be the same. You can never go back to when you didn't have children, because you have children now. So you're different. You're married now, so you're different. It's not supposed to be the same. And when you embrace that, what Allah gave you, what God gave you, and you embrace those different cycles, that's when Allah will show you different ways that you can be successful, especially now with the internet. And use your local community and just get creative. So now I only travel usually on the weekend. If I go places that are close by, I come back the same day or the next night. And like I said, I just take them with me. And just like in a couple weeks, I'll be, God willing, inshallah, coming to New York to do some taping. I'm just going to be gone for 2 days, drop them off at my parents', come back and get them. And then overseas travels, like if I want to go overseas, I'm planning some things around the holiday season for, or American holiday season in December. So when they're out of school, I can go. Then I can be gone for a week because I know they're going to be with family because they're out of school. And then I'll plan things on their spring break. Maybe they'll go with me. And then I got the whole summer. So you just have to be strategic. If you have that family that you trust and you have that support system. And while they're in school, my children are first. So I do things locally, and I stay home. If I can't take them with me, it's not that serious because I will never get this time back to be a mother. Allah put them into, have me as a mother, chose me to be the mother of them right now for this appointed time, and, I make it work, especially with the little one. My oldest daughter is about to graduate from high school, and I have a 3-year-old, so real big age gap. So when she graduates, my little one, she'll be able to come with me more. But yet, and still, because I'm married, I wouldn't stay away that long. And my husband travels a lot, too. So he understands. He's not one of those husbands that's like, where are you going? We have our rule. Like, we're only going to be away from each other a certain amount of days. We do have our limits. And I think with each marriage, you have to set the limits to say, okay, 1 week is the limit, or 2 weeks is the limit, or whatever your limit is to be away from each other for that amount of time. So we have discussed that, like, before we got married, and as we continue to grow and evolve, and both our travels with our businesses, we continue to talk about it. So we just have a certain amount of days that we'll be gone, and you make it work. He's very, alhamdulillah, he's very supportive. And like I said, first of all, right now my children come first. So I work it around them.
Well, for those who have never seen any of your videos or heard any of your music or spoken word, let us know about some of your performance pieces.
One of my favorites is Chi-Town City Life. That will always be one of my favorites. From Chicago, very proud Chicagoan. No matter where I lived, I've lived several places now. But started off in Chicago, the culture, the love, where I came from. You can punch that up. Also, Divine Love, which is something I love. It's for the sisters, just talking about loving yourself first and having that relationship with the Creator before you can love anybody else, truly love anybody else, to give back to yourself through your spiritual life and making sure you have that connection. So that's there, Divine Love. And I did a really great project, a part of a project this year, and it's for Cuba and Zimbabwe, like for them to raise the sanctions for Cuba and Zimbabwe. It's a project that I did with a couple of artists, and M1 is over the project of Dead Press, and I have on there a piece, and it's called, it's on my channel. If you type it in, Tasleem Jamilah, just Cuba and Zimbabwe piece, it's on there. And then I have another favorite that I did, it's for Malcolm X. It's called We're Still Screaming for Freedom. So that's another one that I love. And just kind of type in my name and you can see some live footage too. And I have another live video I just shot a couple weeks ago. I've talked to the filmmaker and see when it's coming out of another live video that I did, like actually on set in Chicago. So I'm excited about that. I go to Allah for everything, everything, you know, and that sets my tone and my pace for the day, for my writing, before I go on stage, before I even pursue anything, even to collab with someone on a project, whether it's a producer or to travel somewhere. I consult the creator, the one who made everything, everyone, every situation, and then I trust in what God gave me, the talent that God gave me, and I work on it. I work on it daily. I'm always writing either my journal or just something creative. Even if it's a couple of lines, I write every day. And I think the most important thing is just to trust in what God gave you, the talent that God gave you, and trust that it is something that you're supposed to be doing if you have this talent. And they say, well, it's a sin if you waste it. You know, if you can sing, or if you do poetry, or you act, or you're a filmmaker, then go for it. Like, every day, set some goals for yourself. Even if you're at work, or you're in school, or you're an at-home mom, set some goals for yourself. I have times where I get up extra early, so even after Fajr, I get up early, you know, and I meditate, I exercise, and I'll get some work done. So even when my children wake up, I feel like I've accomplished so much. And then while they're in school, like my little one just started like a half day, and I'm taking classes. I'm doing a lot, but I really strategically set my time. I'm such a list person. I like to write things down, like from 8 to 9, I'll do this. I'll make phone calls and check emails. You know, I'll work on my writing. And have a plan, and reward yourself step by step to say, I'm going to finish, you know, this particular project, you know, this amount of time in this week, and then next week I'll finish. And by December, I want to be totally done, and I want to have my book launch or my release party or whatever. And then surround yourself. This is another very important thing. Surround yourself with other sisters that are doing the things that you want to do or that you're doing. That's so important to keep you, to encourage you or just give you that advice and that wisdom. But first of all, listen to Allah and yourself. But it's good to be around that just to say, man, keep going. How do you do it? How does a day, like, I'm real specific when I ask questions of people. Sometimes when I want advice from others, I have women in my life who are advisors to me, and just artists, period. Some elderly men who are musicians. And I ask them, like, hey, what is your day like? And they'll tell, how many hours do you practice? How many hours do you do this? What do you suggest? So be specific and ask and reach out to people and just ask their advice. And don't ever give up on yourself. I mean, I have my book that just came out recently. Like I said, you guys can go to my website and buy it. It's called Black Baptist Muslim Mystic from the Cosmos. I know it's a poetry book, but I had to sacrifice some sleep. My daughter was still little, and I was still like nursing her and deprived of sleep because, from being pregnant and then having her sleep with me and my husband in the middle for 2 or 3 years, never having sleep. I really had to sacrifice some sleep in order to get it finished, to get it published, to get it going, and to set up my release date. And I stayed on the prayer rug with du'as and just prayerful and talking to people who've done it already. Somebody's done something you've done. Yeah, it's my uniqueness because it's my words, but how many people you know who have published books? A lot of people, out there. Even if you don't personally know them, you'd be surprised if you reach out to people and ask them questions. Google, YouTube has everything, and Google has everything. So I learned a lot by asking people and just people want to help you. So to me, the information is out there. You can even reach out to me. But information is there for you to know. But stay inspired, stay motivated. Even if it's 20 minutes, do a little bit toward your dreams, because that's why you're here. You only get one time on this physical plane, and you're here to make your dream manifest. And just trust in what Allah gave you. Everybody, I've been knowing him for like forever, like literally. I'm like, I've been knowing him forever. So, alhamdulillah, thank you. See, you need people like you. People need you because you believed in me from the very beginning stages. When I first had my DVD come out, in 2005, 6, I don't know, it was like forever. You believed in me. So we need people like you, and thank you for having a program and just highlighting people that are doing great things in the world.
I want to thank you for having the courage to get up there and start performing and doing a great work, because that's what inspired me to get behind the camera and get in front of the camera, to do these type of shows, to give you an outlet, to get the promotions out there, to do things of that nature. So I want to thank you for your contribution to the uplifting of this talk show and just out there in media itself. So as we got about to close, do you have any closing remarks for our studio audience and to those watching?
Contact me, and here's my book. This is my manuscript copy. You have a binder copy, but this is my copy that I read, so I can open it. I'll personally autograph it for you. Here it is again. It's my poetry book. It's my heart, my soul. I wrote it while I was pregnant, so I guess my baby helped me write it. And so all you sisters who are having babies, and you say, I can't do anything, I can't perform, go on stage, you got an arm, you can write. And now they even got the audio stuff that'll type it out for you. So it's no excuse. Make it happen. Go on my website at tasleemjamilah.com. If you want just some advice or you want to just talk, then reach out to me on any social media at Tasleem Jamilah. And thank you again for having me. I really, really, really appreciate you, Rashid.
Tongue twister. They used to get down real gritty. See, life in the city was not always pretty. Some even call me sedity, like I was from the suburbs where they call blunts herbs, but some fake happiness. They really emotion disturbed where there no sidewalks or curves. You see, Chi-Town, Southside, so I have a happy childhood. My teen years, experienced some tricky living. Grew up with close family and friends, and I got introduced to some backstabbers with sticky fibbing. Little girls fell face flat in the fantasy. The big city painted their car sympathy theme. You say was unforgiving. My parents had KKK memories from Alabama and Mississippi living. They migrated to Chi-Town for a better life. Chi-Town will bring them some happiness, some strength, some stress, some strain, and some strife. See, I hung out in the hood and Princeton Park and the lone homes and rolled in 9-8 rides. And well, if you came around my way with the wrong color on, man, you better hide, cause GDs and Blackstones didn't coincide. The streets were filled with liquor bottles, old dirty condoms. But we still had some black pride. I said we still had some black pride.
Life in the city is not very pretty. It seems such a waste of the time.
I had to erase, escape, and exchange the negative mindset that permeated from 95th Street to the Wild Hundreds. From Princeton Park to Jackson Boulevard. See, times were good, but for some man, times were hard. Even Chicago public schools taught me nothing but how to dodge bullets and how to cut class, and how to do just enough to get by and just enough to pass. Prenatal abortions, synthetic misuse, neglected souls, man, they always had an excuse. But my mom, see, she always talked about revelation. And when my soul, see, it reeked of revolution. And my daddy, he was a physical example of those inner city evolutions. Red Knot family, those inner city pollutions. So when chaos reigned in the streets, man, my household was like a spiritual retreat, nourished with scriptures to eat. They first taught me that I had my own demons to defeat. That's when I realized that my spirits and my mind had to meet. See, my spirit and my mind had to meet.
Life in the city is not very pretty. It seems such a waste of the time.
My soul was crying to be free. It was dying to be free. But I didn't always listen to the divine in me. My frequency was static, and man, sometimes I just couldn't hear it. I was disconnected from my soul and disconnected from my spirit. It took much pain and introspection to free my spirit. And that's why I sharpen my tongue. For those crack-addicted brothers and sisters, my abused aunts and my mom, never tying to my mission. Now my soul, she finally fell in total submission. And now it's cool on the east side of Chi-Town where the sun shines. Allah allow my words to be a healing that vibrates throughout the universe, even past Chi-Town. And I meditate, contemplate, and prostrate east. I found my way of life, my contentment, my peace, al-Islam. Now my inner being is blessed and is bursting like bombs. And I meditate on the Quran and the Psalms. And I see my spiritual lifeline in my palms. I see my spiritual lifeline in my palms.
It's not very pretty. It seems such a waste of the time.
What's life inside? Struggle just to get by. Seems like I'm chasing the sky. What's life in life in the shy? What's life in the shy? Life in the shy? Life in the shy?